Every truth got a place to dwell. From the heart to the mic, let it shine through. This is the point of view. Let's talk about love and loving what's real. Open minds, open hearts, that's the deal. No matter your view, we can find something new right here on the point of view. The point of view. Ooh, the point of view.
Yo, yo, what up, family? It's your boy, Uncle Tay. Welcome to the point of view. All right. In the house today, we got your boy, Wanna Be Famous Ass. How you feeling today, bro?
I'm a little sore, but I'm here, baby.
A little so, man. Hey, man. Yeah. We ain't young no more, baby. We ain't young no more.
Yes, Lord.
All right. To my right, got the one you love to love, my sis, Miss Carly.
Look at that smile. Look at
That's
that
right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You doing all right?
Hey, couldn't be better.
All right.
Couldn't be better.
Hey, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
But just maybe I can be.
Well, I guess we all
Depending on
could
the point of view.
Hey, I can
Point
dig
of
that.
view.
I can dig that.
Find no reason to complain. Just get better.
I like
For
that.
sure. For sure. For sure. All right, y'all. Listen, we got a good show today. Got a good topic. Got a couple of good topics. Today, we're gonna speak on co-parenting. Does it work? We want to know, does it work? Also, we want to talk about a flawed child support system. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's pretty juicy, though.
Yeah. Let's get in that. We're going to dig in that, man. Co-parenting. Let's start out with co-parenting, man. So, picture this. Okay, you have a young couple. You have a young couple, straight out of high school. Had a kid young. Had a child young. You and this young lady or young man, whatever, you grew up together, right? Okay? You love each other. It's what you know as love. You know, you're young though, but you're young. Ain't nobody grown. You're trying to figure this shit out. With a child, you have a good relationship for several years. You get to a point in this relationship to where you realize, it's more to life. Shit, it's more to life. It's more out there. You know, you young and in high school, you ain't really experienced a whole lot of things, you know. But now you put a few years into it, you got out and see, hey, it's a real world out here. You find yourselves moving in different directions. You're growing away from each other. Okay? You still care for each other, but you're not as compatible as you were when you were in high school. Okay? There's a child involved. In this situation, this kid, you're too young to really even consider what this child is going to go through at the cost of ending your relationship, because you're young, you don't know shit. You just, hey man, you're finding yourself because you're a child as well. You end on a mutual ground. You're both involved in the child's life as she grows. Okay? You're there. Both parents there. put the child through college. Okay? This child, one day, as she gets older, she comes to the non-custodial parent and says, you should have did better. You should have did better. You were there, but not enough. Not enough. Now, the non-custodial parent feels that he, and I say he, and I'm not picking on him, I say he, because majority of the time, the non-custodial parent is going to be the father. So realizes that he really thought that he did a great job. He thought he was doing a good job all these years, and man, it's like a ton of bricks that falls on you when he hears this stuff. So, where was the ball dropped? He's there, both parents. Feels like he's being active. She's living her life. He's living his life. Where was the ball dropped? Where are we going wrong with this co-parenting thing? Okay. Co-parenting, is it just a word? Let's see. Co-parenting. Definition of co-parenting. Co-parenting is the act of two parents sharing responsibility for raising a child, even after they are no longer in a romantic relationship. This collaborative approach requires both parents to work together on important decisions, such as creating schedules and making choices that prioritize the child's best interest. Collaborative. I remember, and I've dealt with this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is my situation. Okay, anybody who's close to me know I've kind of been dealing with this situation for the last month or so. Okay, because this was me. This was situation with my baby. Okay, I love her to death. And I did feel as if I was there and doing an exceptional job balancing my life. Okay. Yeah. I have a family. I'm doing my thing. I'm taking care of children that are not my biological. And she's feeling some type of way. Okay. Where are we dropping the ball? Mom's living her life, moving forward. Does the non-custodial parent get the chance to live his life as well? What you think, Wannabe?
Well, ladies first. I'm gonna pass this one.
You gonna pass it?
To my sister Carly first. I want to hear her answer this first.
What you got, sis?
'Cause I got a lot to say, but
Well,
ladies first.
You should probably say it. I like your respect for the ladies, although this is a father's question, since that scenario you used, Uncle T, relied personally with you and as well as usually with what you're saying as far as the non-custodial parent, typically being the father. I think it's important to not really, you don't need permission to live your life. You and probably other parents are living their life regardless of whether they're in a relationship or not with the opposing parent. And then also you spoke of about the child back then, which was yourself and the other parent, were children at that time when y'all made adult decision to have a child. And so you have to also apply that with your child, your daughter, even though whether she's grown or not sure of her age, but I'm understanding that she's a child as well. She's not where you are in her understanding and her thoughts, so she's going to come and approach you with a more youthful mindset. And so you know that you've done the best that you could. Only you and any other parent would know that, whether you've done enough or the minimum, and you have to apply that towards your own personal situation. I heard you say, I was there. And then also speaking about child support, the question also lies in being there. Are we, or are you saying I was there physically or I was there with a paycheck? Because being a paycheck and parent is two different things. And a lot of times the paycheck is projected on the fathers in a different way. And it's not only the fathers, but the non-custodial parent, which, as you said, is typically the fathers. And the paycheck is usually projected on them because it's a monetary payment towards the custodial parent to assist with that child. And I think if you feel more like a paycheck rather than a parent, and just having to relate that, and what am I actually doing? What is this money going towards with my child? If you don't know that, you don't have a itemized list of something showing that this is how this is helping my child, you're not feeling present. So it just depends on when you say I was there, is what part of there is your presence. And so, and other people too, because everybody has different stories. And so it just depends on how that applies within that situation. So I heard personally a story, and then there's a lot of, in general, stories with child support as well. And then, of course, it's not always with the father, but any non-custodial parent can feel many ways not being what their child is considering present in their lives, because you can be present in your child's life as a custodial parent, and your child can still feel like you wasn't available. Mm-hmm. And so I'll stop right there. Want to be, if you want to go ahead and take over and add to what you're going to say.
I'll say, me and your daughter got a special thing going on. You say it's puppy love. We say it's full grown. At the time, y'all were babies having babies, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great comeback.
A lot of time we don't know what the hell we doing when we that age anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, probably your first love, whatever. But once you get out of high school in the real world, things go on. All the child sees at that time, no matter the age or whatever, all the child sees is the present parent and the absent parent.
Right.
They see two things. 9 times out of 10, mama here, dad ain't. No matter what you do outside that house or in that house, no matter how much you there, that baby still don't see you when they wake up and when they go to sleep. That's what they want to see. In them formative years, a lot of times the children don't see the non-custodial parent working overnight, working 2 jobs, sleeping in their damn car, you know, eating ramen noodles, barely surviving, but putting food on their table, right? And in most instances, the other person moves on and you taking care of her and her other kids. They don't see that. Only thing that the child sees is you ain't there when they need you. And it could be 1, 2, maybe 3 particular times that you were not there. And it magnifies over the years of, now I see him doing this for them and not me. They're always gonna dislike or like the parent that's there more. That's just a child's brain, right? We can never, you're gonna hurt your child somewhere. We just try to minimize the trauma that we give them. You're gonna hurt them some kind of way, especially if you, the mama and the dad ain't married and y'all don't live in the same house. It's not what you did wrong, where you went wrong at. It's, like she said, meeting her where she is now and taking it step by step every day. what have I done? Not saying be no carpet. Don't let nobody walk all over you. But take it step by step, because as she gets older and matures, she'll get those understandings. And sometimes kids are the account that will never add. They only subtract. You can put money in this account forever. Forever. Do you hear me? You will never, ever get a return on your investment.
Okay.
And I hate to be insensitive to your situation, but sometimes you can't look for her to forgive you. Especially if you've known that you've done the best that you can. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what? I know I hurt you. I know that this occurred. But I can no longer continue to let you beat me down or make me feel less than or make me feel bad about myself because I wasn't there. You can't change the past. You can only do better in the future.
I can dig it. I can dig that. So tell me this. With these type of situations, what would it take for these children to endure less trauma, right, as they're coming up? Because a lot of it came because of what she saw me doing, in my home, right? Because she wasn't there; she was somewhere else. And then in my immediate home,
she saw you taking care of other folk children. That's all they saw.
And that's what
all
she
they saw,
right? And here's what the responsibility of a man. What a man got to do is this. And it's all, and I'll say it. If you meet a woman, what's the rule? If you meet a woman with kids, what's the rule? Wannabe? You accept them kids. You treat them kids.
You treat them kids just like they're your own.
Her and her children. That's a package deal.
Yeah.
Right. And I take that serious. I've always taken that serious. Her and her children are a package deal. So, yes.
Not in the mind of a child.
Right. So, with that being said, not in the mind of a child, this thing is a collaborative effort, right? So,
no, it's not.
When does it? Sure.
No, it's not.
Because when does? So I guess the custodial parent, what about her efforts in making sure that our child has a good understanding?
But that ain't her job.
It's not her job.
It's not her job. Thank you for that.
That ain't her
So
job.
if it's not her job, and we're co-parent, this is a collaborative effort. See, the man is always said to work harder, right? Oh, you got to try harder. You got to try to. But if we're co-parenting and your grown ass understands what's going on, you understand that I'm in a home and I have it just like you. You're in a home and you're enjoying your family. You got it. You just have the benefit of having our child with you. So you're on that end of the spectrum. I'm on this where I got to do all the explaining and climbing from the bottom and trying to playing catch up. Hey, you don't think that custodial parent, we have a good understanding. You don't think that that custodial parent should be assisting in giving this kid understanding, sis?
No, if she don't feel the way that you feel about it, then absolutely not. That daughter is going to be a child for so long. When that daughter or son is an adult, you can no longer say, and of course, the child is always going to say, when I was a kid, this is how I seen, this is what I did. This is, we're talking about child support, but if you think about anything else, when you go to work and you come home to the family that you have now, what you see at work, at home, wherever, that doesn't tell you something. It's one thing, you could tell me something all day long, but if you showing me something different, I'm going to believe what I see, not what you're telling me. And so, yes, the child is going to be a child for so long, but when that child becomes an adult, then you have to approach and address that adult, because, yes, that adult is still dealing with child issues. The other parent, in your situation, the mother, no, it's not her job to make sure that the daughter understand the perspective that you come from when she was younger. Co-parenting. If y'all have that type of relationship, and it's a respectable relationship, I'm not saying that it's for you to make sure that she respects that. But if it's a co-parenting situation, you're able to co-parent and have some type of mutual bonding understanding. Period. And so, with that being said, if that other parent, the non-custodial parent, if the custodial parent feel the way that you do about the situation, why wouldn't he or she actually help with molding a closure to that situation? And so, if they don't feel that way, they just don't feel that way. And so, it's on you. But
one sec.
Okay.
It looked like old Curtis on there. There's I think he was trying to get on. Oh, yo, Kurt, go ahead and I know you trying to chime in. Go ahead and
looks like he
send
said,
that
"I've been
link
there."
back.
But
And
y'all pity patting with this shit, man.
walking back through it, try to get him in to get you in there. But
It ain't her job.
so it's
It
not
ain't
her job.
No, it's her job to take care of them children with the money that you give her, provide a stable environment, and pick the best other mate that she can have to be around them children. It ain't her job to tell that baby nothing on how to feel about you. She don't supposed to disrespect you. But we know damn well they ain't big up in you in the house that you ain't in. They bigging up in who and around. And when that child come to them crying, my dad ain't here. See, a lot of time, especially with little girls, because I got daughters, they go back to that year that you
Go
hurt
ahead
them.
and click him in.
However old they is,
Now put
When
him
she
on the
felt that
left.
first
Add
hurt?
him to the left.
when she felt that first hurt,
Go down.
That's how old she
No.
was.
Go down to where it says add left.
Keep on going, Mona B.
Right there.
I-
Look out, Kurt. Look out.
what I was saying is,
What's going on, my people?
Everything.
whatever year your daughter, however old that baby was, when she felt that first hurt of you not being there, that's what she stuck at mentally. No matter
That's a good
how
point.
old she get, until that trauma healed there, till that wound is healed, she's always gonna be, let's say, 12-year-old girl in her mind, or when you left, right? As a responsible father that you was, doing the thing that you've done, our job is not to compound the trauma. See, a lot of time we don't hear from the trauma from when we little bitty children to adults. We just keep adding trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma and never hear from the trauma. When she was, let's say 12, right? Since then, that fence wasn't mended. It's your job to continue to do what you need to do for you and her, grandkids, whatever y'all have together, right? And build upon that. Just hear that trauma from there.
Right.
You gotta love her where she at. And regardless of what they say, because you know 9 times out of 10, baby mama talk down on you when you ain't around no way. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But we're not even talking about that type of situation, though, won't be? We're talking about a whole different type of my baby mama is my family right now. If my baby mama and her husband
Well,
are part of my, if we got the family cookout and they ain't there, my family's going where they at. You
somewhere
understand?
But
along
that
the
has
lines,
nothing to do with your
So-
child.
yeah,
right.
somewhere along the lines,
So you,
right?
you don't think, hold on, you don't think that we can, that parents that call themselves co-parenting,
Ain't no such thing.
you're saying meet them where they're at. What about catch it before they get there?
Well, that's okay. If we're gonna be frankly honest. If we're gonna be frankly honest about the whole situation, you don't supposed to have sex until you're married, right? That should be your first sexual experiment, right? After you get married, you have children. If we do it that way, Pandora's box won't be open. And you 9 times out of 10, you probably would have married her and still have been with her.
But that has nothing to do with the kid. That has absolutely nothing to do with the kid. I mean,
I'm just saying, if we go back to that, that's
in
what I
a
mean
perfect
is,
world, marriage.
Yeah, in a
excuse
perfect
me.
world. In a
Yes,
perfect
in a
world.
perfect world. How many people really do get married before they have kids? Not
None
to
of
say
us.
it doesn't
None of
happen,
us.
right? And I've seen and personally know of people who have been married raise their kids, and the kids have more problems than hell somebody who was raised without a marriage in the home.
That's when the parents are miserable with each other, right?
But you gotta understand, there's gonna be different phases in that relationship, regardless of what. It's very important that we're not talking about the partner, but we're talking about the kid. Uncle T, I heard you say, hey, my baby mama and her husband, they still family. Who gives a damn? Respectfully. We talking about your daughter or the child. So what, they happy. So what, they can come over to the family. But hell, your daughter, respectfully, I don't know how many times I can say respectfully, right? And sit back on that stuff. Daughter still saying, hey, I don't give a damn about mama and stepdaddy and whoever. Y'all kumbaya and chilling and eating barbecue and shit together. I feel this way. This is what I'm telling you. What she is saying, or in general, children are saying is this here. I feel hurt. I'm not healed. Daddy, I need you. Mama, I need you. You know, of course, it's personal when it's our story. And so, you know, no shade or shame on that. But it's an outcry, regardless of the age. They don't care about none of that stuff.
Right.
Mama,
Can I
good.
interject
The husband
something?
is good. They she's where she want to be with the new husband, all that, and cool with the family. Who cares? She ought to really go on about her business and just stay away from the family, especially with the daughter being hurt or whatnot. She need to be co-parenting. She need to be working on the bond between you and that daughter while they over there eating barbecue and shit.
Can I add something to that?
Hold on, before you add.
I'm
Before
just
you add.
saying, sorry.
Yo,
but I
you-
done got hot in this corner or whatever, you know.
I can
Y'all
dig
over
it.
there sucking down barbecue and going on or whatnot. Let's talk about this daughter.
Kurt,
Kurt,
what
where
you
we
talking
at?
about, baby? Where you at?
What you hear? I done turned into mama mode.
So listen, y'all went past something.
Okay.
All right. What y'all went past was, or maybe I didn't hear it when I was in the chat room waiting to get in. Part of co-parenting, I believe that long time ago when I was on child support, what would have made my situation better, I believe would have been, or something that needs to be implemented. If you are in a relationship and that relationship goes south for any reason and there's a child involved and child support steps in, there should be family counseling or co-parent counseling, because what happens is somewhere along the line that child starts hearing and seeing things that are a detriment to one parent or the other, so that child then starts feeling some type of way. Because moms, a lot of times, this is just from my experience now, will say stuff under their breath. Moms will say stuff to the detriment of the father, not realizing how bad they're painting a picture of that father. That child takes that in, and then it becomes part of who they are and how they feel about the parent that is missing.
Okay.
Overstood? That's what happens. So if you ask me, I think there should be some type of counseling involved in the family. You ain't got to be counseling me and that woman to stay together, but we need to understand what's best for the child.
And that's my point. That was my point there. I feel like it is a responsibility of the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent when they made that decision to separate. We still have to understand that there's a child involved and we have to raise this child and we are responsible for how this child feels, right? So if that child, if it could be, as Kurt always say, overstood by that child, that, okay, my dad he's doing what a man is supposed to do over there. Okay, he has a family, just like my mom. I'm here with a whole family of my mom. He has a family there. He's there. He has to do things and these are things that who's she around the most? Well, mom, because she's in that home. But she's in the home, so mom says, "Hey, baby girl, no, your dad is doing this, and your dad does love you." And your dad is doing XYZ. This is what I believe is collaborating. It's collaboration. It's supposed to be a collaboration.
No matter how cool y'all are in the separation, children don't give a fuck about that. The child sees you not there with that mama and you doing for somebody else's children.
Yeah.
I-
No.
they see that you ain't there. Like, however, I keep reiterating this. Whatever that child felt that at, no matter how cool you and your ex is right now, right? How she was saying the barbecues and all that, she went in there bigging you up. Because if y'all had really that understanding, she would have been telling that daughter that. Like,
I think it was more just dropped the ball. I think we both dropped the ball on it.
It's neither person's fault in the situation. And I think we as adults, and I've done this, we don't take in the fact that these little motherfuckers got their own thoughts, minds, and feelings too, right? No matter how fucked up she might think it is, she's entitled to feel that.
Yeah, that's
and they
that's
got
a
to
good
feel
point.
them feelings, baby.
I
They
dig
got
that.
to feel it, right? No matter how old that baby get, she's still gonna feel that about her daddy because her daddy wasn't there at that time. But you can help heal that trauma by just being who you know you are, right? Continuing to be who you are. But you can't let it make you feel to the point of, depression and all that. Because I've seen it on you. And I've been through
Probably
similar.
within the last month.
Yeah, you've been
There's a
snapping
reason
in a
for it.
motherfucker. You've been mean as hell. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Barnaby,
yeah.
I think something, if I can add this in, I think really acknowledging the way she feels. Just acknowledge the way she feels, regardless of what you've done, what you and the custodial parent and the partner has done. That really, as Wannabe said, that really doesn't matter. Just acknowledging, hey, I hear you. Not only do I hear you, I'm taking action to make this build this relationship. Not make. You can't make anything. You can only try. And once you acknowledge the way she feels and take that back seat to just listen to her instead of defend why you feel the way that you do or you've done the things that you've done, I think she may feel more heard and understood and respected. And then not only that, your actions will follow the rest. Regardless of other children being around, those are not your biological kids, period. And I'm not saying that, that those children that you adopted should take back seat, but that's your blood.
But see, that's the balance of a man with outside children.
Right.
They ain't gonna never really like each other and get along until they get older.
Because it's like competition.
You know what I'm saying? They
She's
should be
the kids are his?
And we
Yeah.
trying to solve problems there.
What if the kids are his?
Well, even
What
if
if
they
the
are.
kids are his? I know because I have kids with different women.
Okay.
So when you get into a different relationship, even if the kids are half brother and sister, no matter how you feel as a parent, those kids are
Always gonna
still as
feel it.
They're
individuals.
gonna
They're going to
compete,
want the
right?
most amount of attention. So every kid wants the most attention, even if you live all in the same house. Say you and all your kids,
That's a
mom
good
and daddy,
point.
y'all all live together. Every kid wants more attention than the next. Now, when that parent leaves, it's a totally different story. If one parent leaves, it's a totally different story. Now, here's the issue with this, Lamont, coming from your specific situation. I had to wait until them kids got older, do the best as I could as a father, and I took each one of them kids individually on a dad and child date, dad daughter, dad son date, and I laid everything out on the table. Because now we're talking about something that's in retrospect. You can't go back and correct from this point backwards, but from this point forward, you can say, I'm going to be the best dad that I can and make sure that everything is understood with my child and they understand what happened. Somebody has to explain it to them from your perspective.
Right.
I can dig it.
And I think
I
you
just
maybe
said,
don't. I apologize. Go ahead.
no, I'm done. I'm done. That's what I want. That was my point. You
Okay.
have to give your own
That was a
perspective.
good point that he made. Thank you for that, Kurt. It's an individual thing. I know it's tiring. Certainly being a woman on the back end, being able to sit amongst men who are dealing with these things, because on my end I've of course raised my child full time, with assistance on both ends of the stick, with
sure.
step parents involved. But to see that and hear it, because again, the kid or the child, and even the custodial parent don't get to see the wear and tear on your body or your face, and certainly in your soul. So it's something that you definitely would have to individually take on, and nobody could give you that blueprint of how that looks. You just have to know you're doing what you can. And I've heard many fathers, as Kurt said, they sit back and retreat and decided to wait till the kid got older. I'm not saying, hey, do that, but what happens when the kid is older and still saying, hey, well, what I do think is a good thing is that if that child is grown, he or she is, well, in your case, she's still communicating.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Because she could
That's a
really,
start.
yeah, she could really, she's wanting to build that bond. She could just really fall all the way back and just not communicate, shut the doors, and that's really hard because there are men, of course, that want to be involved in their kids, and the kids just won't communicate whatsoever.
Right. And so don't get my baby has always, she's a daddy's girl. Okay. This is why it hit me so hard, because we've always been in communication. She's been my rock and I'm hers, But for her to come out of the blue and say that shit, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
And we had some.
Took her some time to say it. I can tell you, she's been harboring for it from
Yeah.
a female point of view. She's been holding on to that for a very long time.
For
And
sure,
And a lot of
sis.
times that manifests into having fucked up relationships in their life too. They can't have sustainable, positive relationships in their life because of the daddy issues. Like most loose women that you know got father issues. No, just being honest. Like, but I think you're repairing it. Y'all having communication.
We've always
That's
had that.
that's a great thing. Having communication, that's where it starts. Just having communication, but also being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, "Man, I fucked up."
But what if he didn't want to be?
But what?
What if he didn't? Right. What if he
Just
didn't
by
mess
being
up?
young, dumb, and full of calm.
But he's still in his child's life. And I
Yeah,
know we're
that's
making
true.
it personal, but what if he really
Yeah,
didn't
but that's-
mess up and it's her perspective?
I ain't finna have no
Right.
pity party. I'm not finna
It's
have.
not a
I ain't-
pity party, it's acknowledging,
No,
just
I'm
like we're
finna
asking.
tell him how
Okay.
the older men told us back in the day, man, you fucked up. Regardless of what you think you did, that child was wrong and felt wrong. So we did do a disservice. My children are, one time, one of my children told me I was the worst parent ever. I had to look myself in the mirror, right? And I was like, well, shit, that's your opinion. What your other brothers and sisters got to say about it? You feel me? Because at some point in time, they can say some hurtful shit just to hurt you, right? You know what I mean? I'm not just being honest. Like, but if I know I've done the best that I could in acknowledging where I went wrong, because sometimes we can offend people just by being ourselves.
Okay.
Sometimes we
That's
can
a good
offend
point.
people and we don't even know what we did wrong. But we did do something wrong and they felt a certain type of way, especially our children. So you acknowledge your daughter's pain. And you can't drag that around with you. That shit gonna drag you to the grave. Only thing you can do is try your best to repair what has happened. Because we can't go, like Kurt said, we can't go back.
Straight.
But at the same time, and I do it with my children. Hell, you don't like me now? That's your problem. I'm a very likable, lovable man. That's with anybody, children and all. Because I know when I lay my head on my pillow at night, I've done the best I could by you. Right? My mama used to say it all the time. Damn it, when my head get cold, you gonna remember them days when you gave me your ass to kiss. And as a child, as my mother's child, God bless her soul, I remember them days when I gave my mama hell. I remember them days when I was just an unruly and a fucked up child. Not saying that in your daughter's position, right? But we have to acknowledge the fact that what we went wrong, you've done that. You're trying to repair it. You can't kill yourself or beat yourself up. That shit make you old, bro. Fast.
I have a question, Wannabe. You just made the comment of acknowledging where you went wrong. But if you don't feel like you went wrong anywhere, what is he acknowledging other than acknowledging how she feels?
Somewhere along the lines, that baby who didn't ask to be here felt a certain type of way of something that he didn't do as her father, which is wrong to her. No matter whether he knew it, it was still wrong to her. That means acknowledging that baby's pain, right? And at the same time, I can't stay here with you with this pain. We got a cut. Let's put something on it. Let's put a Band-Aid on it, and let's work to getting this thing better. Regardless of whether you know what you did wrong or not. You probably just went wrong with being who you is because you wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't there.
So, okay, I got you. I was starting to get clouded about, saying, hey, I messed up versus I didn't mess up, and how you feel is your problem, not mine. I'm
If
going
you
to
listen
bed.
long enough,
So
I
it's
swear to God, you'll get it.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, I must say.
All right. I'll tell you what. So let's jump subjects a little bit. Let's kind of switch gears just a little bit. Let's discuss a little bit about child support system.
I'm glad you said that because I was wondering where child support fell in at with this whole situation.
Yeah, because it kind of goes hand in hand, sis.
Okay, I'm listening.
Co-parenting and this child support thing, and I am one to say, the child support system gave me the blues.
Okay.
Get the hand clap button.
Hey, I went Kurt. When I tell
Hit
you,
the bomb on their ass.
Oh, you want a bomb on it? Okay, fellas.
Kurt, the child support system whooped my ass.
Our ass, yeah.
And
Include me.
and including 4.
now,
Because I didn't get the payment. Now, how about that? It whooped our ass. How about that?
I can dig, but listen,
Yes.
I was on both. I was able to experience both sides of the thing, right?
Oh Lord.
Because I was.
I'll make you mad because I was sitting back waiting to collect. Child support system is a debt collecting agency. That's it. It's not a parenting repair system. It's a debt collecting
You're right.
agency.
Absolutely.
Understand
That
that?
will fuck your credit up.
Hey. No
But listen,
passport,
hear me.
no
Do
driver's
you hear
license,
me?
no, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's.
Do you hear me?
And they will fuck your
Did I
credit.
give
They
you
will.
some examples?
They will fuck your life up.
Man, I had a 720 credit score. I got behind 1 year on child support. That shit went to 580.
That's right. You can't buy a house.
Easy.
You can't travel. You're not gonna go and have
You
fun
might
while
even,
these
you can't
kids
even get
can
your
buy-
driver's license. They suspend your license.
Yeah, that's a
Catch the
lot of
bus.
shit to go along with
There's
it.
alternatives.
So with this child support
No, that
system,
ain't funny, but I have to. Yeah.
it took me through the ringer. And here's the thing. It took me through the ringer. And I was there, like I said. Now, not my oldest child. Not my oldest child, the one that we were discussing.
Okay.
No. Like I said, me and her mom and her we like this. She fought with me to get to, because they tried to put child support on me. The state did tried to put it on me, and she fought with me to get it removed because she knew I was there. She's like, no, he doesn't need child. These folks, as we were fighting, we would go down there, and them folks would work their hearts in trying to convince her to keep child support on my ass.
They wanted to lock your black ass
They
up.
were like, "Are you sure?" We fought for 2 years, sis, to get child support orders dropped on me. Okay, and she fought with me. She knew I was there. Now, my other child, Lord have mercy, and I was there. Man, them folks took me every which way with this child support stuff, with this child support mess. Now, here's the thing. I'll be straight up. There were times that I decided I wasn't paying that shit.
Okay.
And there's a reason.
So
Okay.
you grew interest because you decided not to pay.
I
Get surcharges.
Call my
reoccurring
city.
payments.
Yeah, you know how I go.
But here it
Curtis.
is. My son. Well, again, my mom was real heavy in my kid's life, and we were there, and my son, man, his school clothes I bought, his activities I paid for. I paid for it. We did these things. Okay. Hell, when he started being athletic, I paid for all of that. I paid $900 a month for just training and shit like that, for athletic training, which earned him a D1 scholarship, football scholarship. You know what I'm saying? So we went through these things together. Me and my son, we like this. Okay? Man, all while child support orders stacked on me. Okay? So I decided that, listen, I ain't paying no damn child support. If I'm paying all of this, and I'm buying all this clothes, and I'm picking up and I'm getting them here and getting them there, why am I paying child support? And I call myself stacking up receipts and shit, and had a folder full of shit, and I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show them.
Would they say that was a gift?
I'm gonna show them. Yeah. I'm gonna show them that. Look here, Yana. I handle my business. I'm not an irresponsible parent. I'm there. I'm not a deadbeat. And watch them folks tell me that it was a gift. Oh, you did. I literally had one of the young ladies, what's some folks, Kurt, that they before you see the judge,
The mediator.
You see them first.
Yes, sir.
And she said, after I showed her all of my stuff, she said, "Do you pay her bills?" No, ma'am. I pay my bills. I pay my damn bills. Her and her man pay her bills.
Okay.
Okay? I pay my bills and I take care of my son. I'd like to know, where is it fair that a non-custodial parent should be responsible
It ain't.
for taking care of his kid and paying a young lady's bills?
Okay. So you, I like how you just looked at me like, like I'm the baby mama. Shit.
No,
no, but I had to laugh at it. Damn, I ain't the one you chose. I just want to tell you. But you mentioned the fact that you and the baby mother and her husband is like this, and
Not
I know you
this,
got
this is a
multiple.
different one.
Okay,
This is
but I'm
different.
still gonna ask this question because this may not, since it was a different one. Maybe this is for another father or a mother, right? That's real cool and close with the parent, and they're still paying child support. Well, my initial thought was, if y'all was that cool, maybe she would have gave you the money back, and you would have never missed none to begin with, and you won't be blaming the child support system, right?
First baby mama would have done that.
But okay, so you wasn't on child support with that one, right?
She fought to get it off because she knew that I was there. She understood. She was, no, absolutely not. So other baby mama,
Yeah,
I can get paid.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, I can get paid.
Oh yeah.
Have a little control too. Yeah.
So it sounded like you were compliant while being non-compliant, because in the system, any system, there's a order of operations. There's rules to abide by. Period. Point blank. It's like going to work and saying, "Hey, I showed up to the job and I did the work, but I didn't clock in, and I need to get paid." Well, yeah, the boss saw you there. They saw you pushing the broom or stacking the bag, helping the customers and everything.
Your ass.
But no, I'm just saying, like, I mean, hey, I try to be optimistic about it, but you didn't clock in. You didn't use the time clock, the badge. You didn't use your badge to hit that time clock. And so regardless of everybody seeing you and you spoke to whoever, ate lunch with the whole crew, your ass still didn't clock in. So if child support said, hey, you show up so on and so forth, you do X, Y, and Z, you bring your receipts, whatever it is, rather than them saying at the end of the day, oh, well, hell, it was just a gift. Well, maybe there were some steps in between that you missed because you folded your arms and said, hell, I ain't doing this. I'm not paying no more. I'm going to keep all my receipts. Well, it's not that you did something wrong. You just didn't comply with the orders.
Right. So when you see a child lacking, okay, because I did pay child support, so, and then you see your kid, and they got old shit on wearing the big brother's hand-me-downs and all this shit, right? I wasn't in a position at this time to make sure that my son had the things that he needed and pay child support as well. So my decision was based on, listen, I gotta pick one. I gotta pick one. And the one that I chose was, I gotta make sure my son is good. Okay? And I did that. And when I did that, yes, that was a great analogy, as a matter of fact. I love that. I'm liking
glad
that.
that helped you out a little bit.
But that decision that I made sent me to jail more damn times for child support than anything else that I've been in jail for.
Right. Well, again, like I said, it's a system, and it's not supposed to. It should collectively assist with co-parenting, but it doesn't. It's just for the payment solely.
Yeah, it's
A benefit payment. Not only, sometimes it's not even for the child. Sometimes it's paying the system back in which assisted your children or that family. For instance, if you're the custodial parent received benefits from the state, like food stamps or what they call TANF,
But they're separate.
those of that
WIC,
nature.
They're separate.
Section 8,
Yeah,
anything.
housing, any type of governmental assistance, whether and that's I heard you say about the state picking up the child support case. If you receive any governmental assistance, the custodial parent doesn't have to no longer file.
Medicaid.
Now the state picks it up, and because the state is saying, hey, if we're paying these benefits, then naturally we're going to go after the non-custodial parent. Oftentimes, too, what has started happening too, whether it was the father or the mother, they started pursuing custody of that child. So then they don't have to do these things. I don't think it's like a right or wrong, right? I can see the frustration on both ends, whether it's the custodial or non-custodial, and there is a wedge. So I can understand the whole child support system failing. No system is perfect, and I'm not applauding the system, but I applaud the child support system for doing whatever it is it is supposed to do. So it's not supposed to bridge the gap between the parenting. It's a attempt to do something, and that's collect that debt, right? It's great when it bridges the gap between the parenting and assist the child, but
Wait,
it's
wait,
not.
my sister.
What's
The only
that?
reason why they're stepping in at all to try to collect the debt for anybody is so that they can get a piece of it. It's the same thing as when other government entities step in to try to act like they're helping out, and all they're doing is worried about the money aspect of it. When they step in to take that money for somebody, like one thing they like to say is that the mother, say you don't want to file child support on the father, and then that mother has to go get AFDC or TANF or anything like that. They make the father pay that back, and they instantly file child support on it. But
They
all
make
three of
the
those,
non-custodial parent pay that back, not the father.
the father pays that back. So the non-custodial parent pays that back. They put that on as part of the child support system. But here's the thing: they make that on a decision on how much money that parent has to pay. All those things factor in, but they're separate entities.
Right.
So they will make sure that you get child support filed on you. And once you start paying that child support, they don't care whether you have the means to pay at that percentage level or not. Like my mom was saying, I had to make a decision sometime to pay or not to pay because I want to make sure that my son had the important stuff, because that mother has another significant other and they can pay the bills in the household. But see, child support system doesn't evaluate every case on a case by case basis. They just hold all, since it's mostly men that are on child support, they hold all men accountable equally, and it makes the system unfair. So because of that, I frown on the system because they're not helping do anything except for collect money for themselves. If they really wanted to help, like I said, they can step in and do things for the family collectively to make sure that that child is getting things like counseling. The parents are understanding each other, working together for the benefit of the child and not for things that don't need to be paid for in the household, extracurricular activities in the club and different shit like that. Because the first thing we say as men is, oh man, she over there buying purses, and she buying this and she buying that. Not always true. We were wrong for saying that. Because if the child doesn't have, the child needs. But for those parents that we know that do have it, that those mothers that do have a strong side as far as taking care of their baby, the father may not be there financially. So the best thing that father can do for that child is to do what, Lamont? Give him time, give him love, and those sort of things, and not be put in jail every time he comes up a little bit short.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
For sure.
Well, I didn't say that the child support system is there to do all of those things. What I said is the child support system is a system, and that
Yeah, no,
system,
sure.
when we talk about it failing, it may be failing according to that parent, whether man, woman, black, white, Hispanic, whoever it is. Because
Right.
regardless of who you are, if you're on child support and you don't pay your child support, you still
You go to jail.
more than likely you're going to jail. Or you're gonna have
You go
interest
to
on it.
jail.
So what I'm saying is this here. I'm saying it's a system, and that system was created to do exactly what it's doing. It did not fail. That system did not fail. You feel failed. It didn't fail, and I'm saying it didn't fail because it's doing what it was created to do.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, you know what we laughed about? Lamont, real quick, I want to say something else, brother. What me and you laughed about the other day. Let me tell you what I said. The guys that were paying, this is what I experienced it myself. I looked around the room every time I end up in court. The guys that were paying, Alicia, we always ended up in court and in jail. The ones who were trying, let me say that.
It's
The ones
that's
who were putting
yeah.
true
I
effort.
can see that.
And the ones that ain't paid a dime and owe 77,000 and
Getting paid.
852,000, man, they can't never find them boys. They don't give a damn about them niggas. They ain't putting out no task force. So that's the part of the job that I think that should be getting done, which is go find them ones who owe $8 million.
Find the
Well,
dead
Go
right.
round them
babies.
boys up.
Find them dead because
Well,
they exist.
that's right.
But
That's true.
but everybody doesn't deserve the same consequence.
Well,
So
Right.
I said I had been on both sides of the situation, right? Because it was in a house
Yeah.
where where there was with the recipient of child support, right? And
Right.
I've always been an advocate for, hey man, for men, hey, let's give them a chance. Hey, this child, because I ain't never liked child support system. They just ain't done us right.
Yeah.
So now I've actually allowed someone to wipe all their arrears. I convinced my old lady to wipe the arrears clean. Okay, for
so the money can go directly to the child.
well, wipe them clean because the nigga ain't finna pay it. It ain't. He'll never pay that amount of money. Give him a chance. Okay, give him a chance. And I fought and battled. Oh no, I'm telling you. He ain't gonna do this. He ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do this. He ain't gonna do that. Okay. Wipe it clean. Give him a chance. Get him in. We know he ain't gonna. This ain't gonna happen. He gonna keep going to jail. And jail ain't helping nothing. It ain't helping nobody. It ain't helping our family. It ain't helping his family. Give him a chance. Wiped it clean. Shit. Right back.
Now the kid's daddy's a jailbird. Can't keep a job because every time he don't make enough money, he go to jail. He got to uproot himself and change his life around. He might get kicked out of his houses. There's a lot of things get uprooted behind putting a man in jail, especially if he doesn't have the support. If he can't home. You're talking about child support, and there's other ways to handle supporting a child. Just like in your household right now. If you've been with somebody for a long period of time, sometimes the man has to pull the weight. Sometimes the woman might have to pull the weight because of hard times, or somebody got fired, somebody got laid off. That company's not keeping people in place. So the other person has to pull the weight of the household sometimes. It's the same way when you're raising a child. Even if I'm not there, or say the mother's not there, and I have custody of the child. She might be doing bad right now. Well, let's evaluate the situation, not just chunk her in jail. Let's talk about it. Let's go to a room and let's get some counsel. Let's find out what we can do to make sure that mother can stay out of jail but be an intricate part of the child's life. Okay, that's what needs to be done in the child support system right now.
that shit ain't
Now
gonna. They ain't gonna do that shit.
Again, it's
they
a
won't.
system, and
No. I
then
didn't say they're gonna do it. I said it's what should have been done from the very beginning. Since y'all want to take money and all you're doing is giving money to people sitting behind a desk typing on the computer saying go get him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
well, I
it.
mean,
That's all
there's
they're
a
doing.
lot
They're
of
not
different
doing no
things
job.
as far as the system when it comes down to child support. Even taking in consideration of the disadvantages culturally of people amongst different races and levels of
But
poverty.
because they don't police us like we get harsher sentences when we go to court. Period. Right. That system wouldn't set up for honestly a black man to succeed. Like I think we look at it as they supposed to do right by us. Like I worked 2 jobs and slept in my car. and still behind on child support, right? I can't complain about it. Like, I made these kids, right? But I didn't just think about the monetary aspect of it, like we was talking about. It was just being there with them for time, right? Giving them time and interest. But you know damn well, a lot of times you ain't paying no child support. The woman don't want you to see your damn kids. And if you really trying to hustle and really trying to pay your child support, doing what you're supposed to do, 9 times out of 10, them folks don't give a damn how much you work. The more you work, the more money they gonna take.
The more you gonna pay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It ain't built. It ain't built for us to do good.
No, it's not. So I have a question. Overall, in the U.S., 5% of males have gone to jail for child support. Overall, 15% of that black.
I thought it might be higher.
Well, think about the
No,
disadvantages
15%
of that,
of-
though.
Yeah, right. So why is it that we've why?
Well,
what's the
you think
discrimination?
about it. It's. I have a problem sometimes. I have a problem with just saying black. I say poor. Not to say that we can't talk about racial things, because we can, but I want to literally straight up put it out there. It's not just affecting black people. It's child support.
Shit.
You can say what you want, and that's fine. I can respect that. It's affecting poor people who are struggling in general. It doesn't matter. I mean, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. Take that back. It does matter. It's affecting poor people who are across the board struggling to do anything with finances. Child support systems do not consider, again, the job disparities and whether how hard it is for you to find a job, whether you black, brown, or in between. It doesn't take in consideration the fact if your education level, the income level, child support say, hey, you got 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, and this is your income. This is, or not even something they'll consider your income, but at the end of the day, the child support systems are looking at this is what it costs for the average American to survive during this time, and you have this amount, these amount of kids or children. Regardless of what you make, this is the payment that we're going to allow you to pay for this child. So they may tell you to pay $1,000 a month for each child. Well, your check may not be nothing but $1,200 a month. So you working part time at a minimum wage job. How could you pay $1,000 each child? Say it's 3 kids in the house. That's $3,000, and you pulling in $1,200 on top of getting your own personal assistance with whatever it is, or having your mate help you. Child support does not consider that. And so
It's a culturally biased system.
Yes, I think
I missed what Kirk said.
he said a cultural bias.
Okay.
Culturally
Okay.
biased.
And I
It's a
think
culturally biased system. So it's based off of what the people who constructed the child support system feel that everyone needs. And they don't consider that everybody's not on the same pay scale. So what they did do, though, was they considered that no matter how many kids you have, they look at your pay scale and say, we can only take this much of a percentage of any man's money. But sometimes that left you flat ass broke. So if they take 50 to 60 or 70% of your money and they leave you $200 or $300 out of your $1,000, like you would say, that man only makes $1,000. At the end of the month, that man got $300 or $400 to try to eat off of, pay his bills, and a place to live, and to pay, put any money into his transportation that he can. And sometimes he can't make it. So you know what he says? Fuck that child support.
Right, and Kurt, I want to make a point off of something that I heard you gentlemen say tonight. It seems like the more you work and the more you do, the more you get punished, versus the man who's not doing nothing is not getting punished. Well, what is it? They said robber don't go rob a house with nothing in it, or nobody broke. So basically they can't. The child support system can't get anything from anybody that doesn't have it, and I feel like that's why you feel the weight and the heat, because you are working and you are trying to do something. Right. In general, because you have some type of income coming in. Of course, it's like more. It's not enough, but for somebody who's not working, not to say it's okay, but for the person who doesn't have no income or anything coming in, they're not going after them because there's nothing to go after. There's
and they
nothing
don't give
there.
a damn about
and
paying child support.
a lot of times, the non-custodial parent will backdoor and find other ways to make income.
Money on the table.
That's not trackable. That you know, because they cannot make it.
Money on the table.
Yeah, they cannot make it with trying to work a job that's gonna bring in wages. You're trying, but you just can't make it, and so a lot of times people do fall back and say, well, you know what, I just can't do it, so I'm just gonna find a different way to make it.
Right. So we feel I take that we all in an agreement that it needs reform.
We need to burn that bitch down and start all the way over. Fuck that,
Well,
man.
I don't agree with that, but I said we need new systems to be made.
What, in the likeness and in the image of black people.
Only?
Wait. Can I just let me interject something.
Okay,
I believe,
I'm gonna
I
push over
truly
that right there.
believe that the child support system is going to be revised. And the reason why is because I can tell y'all something y'all may or may not know. The child support system is actually just like the Fed and the IRS. It's an illegal system. Nobody approved for them to have that power over each and every individual. So if you know how to fight that, there's a lot of people right now that tell you can say this and you can do this and blah blah blah, and you'll never pay child support again in your life. But then you have to consider that how many of those guys are going to run off and never do anything for their kids. But the child support system is illegal. People are finding out about it. There's going to be a lot of people that will fight that case in court, make child support come up short, and they're going to have to revamp the system.
Well, when it starts affecting white America, then they'll do something about it.
I just
As
don't
long
think
As long as it don't bother them, it don't inconvenience them, they gonna be fine. And we still
But
have
it
to
does.
do it.
it affects everybody, want to be, and you may
It
not see
does.
it from that way, but it because it's a
What you
personal
say?
thing. Child support affects any and everybody who is making payments or not making payments that's a part of that system, regardless of what straight up, it is what it is. And I'm it's not so much about protecting, because I know folks that's non-black, and it affects them too. If you're not making that payment, the same rules are going to apply across the board. And so if we're going to educate people and we're going to talk about whether it's child support or bringing kids together, it's important that we really
Okay, let me
put
give
it
you some
out there
pushback.
for
Let me give you some
that
pushback.
system to be revamped, because it's not just black people that's going to change a system.
Let me give you some pushback. You said 15% of man.
Where the facts at?
Of black
15% of black
15,
men.
and it happens before the
Are on
child.
child support, right?
And it happens. No.
Or incarcerated or have been to jail.
Been to jail.
Where did
Okay,
you get that source
This
from?
is to jail.
Where's that
This-
from? Coming from?
I'll share it with
Because
you.
it may be a higher number.
Yeah.
It may be.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll share it with you with
But
his
you say
short.
15% of black males have been to jail by child support. And the reason that,
before the child's 9 years old.
okay, and my pushback of that is the poor people. We are the poor people. The system was not designed for poor people. And the reason I say that is you might know one, two, maybe a handful of white people, Indian people, whoever, they go to court with lawyers, right? We get court-appointed lawyers. 9 times out of 10, if we paying child support, right, working our ass out to pay child support, we don't have money for a lawyer. We don't have no representation. A lot of times when I've been to court and I've seen this, I'm not going to reveal my source, but 80% of that time when I see them people in court for child support, other races of people, they got lawyers on retainer. They pay that type of money because they got that type of money. You say 15% of us done been to jail. I would say it ain't even 50% of black males in America that earn or above $150,000 a year. We're in the bottom class of earners in this country as African American men. That's what I mean about the system ain't designed for us. And that, I keep reiterating that it's not broken. It works perfectly for them. When it inconvenience white people, minorities, and foreigners, that's when they'll revamp it. They are fine with locking our black asses up. They are fine with revoking our license. They are fine with taking all our money because they keeping us out of the house, keeping us out of the way. They don't mind that because they making third grade reading scores. They making prisons because of black kids' third grade reading scores. So it's a system designed to keep us in trap. It's 1 out of 5 of us. Would say 1 in every 5 males would be on some type of supervision, right? Probation, parole.
so.
1 out of 5 of them, 1 in 3 are going to prison. That's a statistic for us. Like, so when you say poor people, the reason I don't identify with it, because like we said last night, you don't know we can say poor white people, yeah, we got trailer parks and all of that, but foreign people, you don't see too many of them poor, downtrodden, and destitute. You might see Mexicans or Hispanics in child support court or in child arrears. Hell, they go back to Mexico. Where we going?
Can I address some part of that?
Yes.
So is it being poor financially, monetary, or is it poor by mindset?
Both.
Because that's a good point of what, because sometimes you can have as much money as you want, but if your mindset is poor, no matter what you do, you're going to continue to repeat cycles of whatever that poor mindset is bringing you in. You know, for example, you talked about Hispanics or Mexicans or Indians, and they have lawyers. Well, probably my assumption, and I may not be right fully on this here, but I'm sure I'm right about what I'm saying. But as far as the perspective of what I'm putting on those other cultures, they may not have money, but they have doctors because they study, they read, they do things that a lot of times culturally African Americans, black people don't do. They stick together in families. They eat together. You know, they help each other. They build. They get out and work with their hands and help. A lot of times African Americans, well, no, we don't do that. And regardless, we can put it on a system. But when you know, and I say this all the time, when you know better, you'll do better. But everybody who know better don't necessarily do better. It's about the actions. And I talked about that. We could say something all day long, but it's not about what we're saying. It's about what we're doing. I talked about that with the example from Auntie's daughter. You know, it's one thing to say, hey, I hear you. I was there. I did all these things. Even your mom asked the stepdad, but she hears him, but she may see him doing something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole point of saying this here, I had the question about whether it's money or mindset or both. And so if you want to change something, and we want to talk about culturally changing something, because I'm not against talking about culture things. I'm against putting everything in a package of being just straight black people. It's so offensive to think, hey, I just, or even to know, hey, I'm getting less in because I'm black. So that means every time I wake up and I look at myself, I got to understand that I'm going to accept and fix in my mindset that I'm supposed to get less because I'm black. No, that's some bullshit, and it's a mindset that I choose not to live with. And so I literally put that out there, not to say it does not happen, it's not happening, but all I'm saying is something has to change, and since it hasn't changed, and since we're still dealing with these systems and these mindsets and a little bit of money or a whole lot of money, it doesn't matter how much you have. If you're not educated on how to use it, it's a system. The money is a system. When you haven't, investing and saving and educating, it's a system of how you do things. Regardless of what. So that's all I have to say on that.
All right.
We got a little heated though.
Yeah, I like that. Beautiful. That was beautiful. Unfortunately, we gotta wrap this thing on up.
So we done wound down the time. I tell you what though.
We done wound down the time, man.
I receive everything you said.
And vice
But
versa.
if I made $250,000, $300,000 a year, I promise you, I wouldn't be in no damn child support court without no lawyer. I would be in probably the top 5% of earners.
Possibly.
And possibly maybe you'll go and become a lawyer yourself, so you don't have to continue to pay the ones out of that $250,000 or whatever dollars.
Before these two get started,
respectfully,
let me go ahead and close this thing on out.
We love conversation around here, right?
That's my dog.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for tuning in with us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. That it? What? But
I like it.
On YouTube,
like, share,
Facebook,
subscribe.
Instagram.
We'll be streaming on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. Listen, join us next week. 8:30ish.
QP time, is that what I'm hearing?
8:30ish. 8:30ish.
Hey, we love y'all. We appreciate it.
Are you gonna be? Say that you're gonna be.